Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of digital publishing. It's truly transformed how ideas are shared, how careers are built, and even how you discover and consume content every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. What's fascinating here is just how much the landscape has shifted,
Yeah.
from the traditional gatekeepers of print to this sort of decentralized digital frontier. We'll trace its rapid evolution, peek into its exciting future, and we'll even try to equip you with some practical, actionable steps if you've ever thought maybe about putting your own work out there.
Right. Our mission today is to cut through all the noise, try and extract the most important nuggets for you, giving you that aha moment, hopefully, that helps you understand not just the what, but the why and how behind it all. So let's maybe cast our minds back to the analog age of publishing.
Yeah.
Before the internet, before digital files were really even a concept, it was all about physical formats.
Physical only.
Books, newspapers, magazines, physically printed, then shipped out by truck, by rail. And the publishers, they were the ultimate gatekeepers, weren't they?
Oh, completely. You absolutely needed to deal with one of them just to get your work seen. It was a real bottleneck.
Yeah.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it was a very centralized system, a stark contrast to where we are now, really. The barriers to entry were just incredibly high.
Also,
Well, think about it. The sheer cost. Production, the printing presses, warehousing, all those physical copies, and then the complex logistics of physical distribution. It was expensive stuff.
right. So unless you had that deal,
Exactly. Or significant personal funding, your voice just wasn't heard much beyond your immediate circle, A few major companies pretty much dominated the space. And crucially, creators had very little control
over what specifically?
over their rights, their revenue, even how their work was distributed. Your masterpiece was, well, effectively theirs once the ink dried on the contract.
Wow. Okay. And then, boom, the digital tsunami hit. Here's where it gets really interesting, I think. That accessibility must have just exploded, right?
Totally. The internet changed absolutely everything, almost overnight. We saw the rise of self-publishing platforms, Amazon KDP, Substack, Medium, Gumroad, loads of them. Blogs, ebooks, audiobooks, even simple PDFs, suddenly they could be available instantly, worldwide.
Which meant a genuinely low-cost entry for creators.
Precisely. Anyone, literally anyone with a laptop and an internet connection could become a publisher. And tools like Canva, Adobe InDesign, even just Google Docs, they made designing and formatting accessible to pretty much everyone. A huge technical hurdle just vanished.
Yeah, that design part used to be a big barrier.
It was. And this raises an important question, really. How has this profound shift impacted not just what we read, but who we read?
Good point.
Digital distribution became global, shared via email, social media, online marketplaces, instantly. And the revenue streams, they expanded dramatically beyond just, traditional book sales.
Like way.
Well, we're talking ad revenue, subscriptions, online courses, affiliate marketing, even newer concepts like NFTs for ownership, though that's still evolving. This really gave rise to what we now call the creator economy.
Right, the creator economy. We hear that term a lot.
And the profound shift isn't just that you can connect directly with an audience. It's that success now fundamentally depends on it. Audiences are increasingly loyal to individuals. Influencers, bloggers, thought leaders who are now powerful publishers in their own right. They're building these direct engaged communities. Your most valuable asset isn't just your content anymore.
It's the audience connection.
Exactly. It's that direct relationship with your audience.
It's truly mind-boggling, isn't it? How rapidly this industry has transformed in just, a couple of decades.
It's incredibly fast.
So, looking ahead, peering into the crystal ball maybe, what are some of the game changers on the horizon? What does this all mean for how we'll be consuming stories and information in just a few years?
Well, one massive trend we're seeing, you can't ignore it, is AI and automation.
Right. I've heard a lot of buzz about AI-generated content, but also tools for editing, translation, marketing.
Absolutely. And the real insight with AI, I think, isn't just content creation, though that's part of it. It's personalization at scale. Imagine dynamic ebooks that adapt to your reading behavior or translate seamlessly on the fly.
Wow, okay.
It opens up entirely new forms of engagement. But, it also raises questions about authentic voice, intellectual property.
Sure, lots of questions there. What else?
Well, beyond AI, think about the implications of blockchain and ownership. NFT-based publishing. It could mean verified, immutable ownership of your work.
So clear proof you own it.
Right. And transparent royalty systems, direct-to-reader sales, potentially completely decentralized from the big traditional platforms. Then there's immersive and interactive content.
Like AR and VR.
Exactly. Think AR, VR publishing for education, maybe comics, storytelling. Imagine books with embedded media right there on the page. Videos, quizzes, maybe chat functions, even 3D content. It transforms reading from just text into an experience.
That sounds pretty wild.
Doesn't it? Plus, we're seeing this rise in micro-publishing and niche domination.
What do you mean by micro-publishing?
Small, really focused newsletters, digital zines, short series. They're catering to super specific audiences. The emphasis is on deep engagement over just chasing mass volume. It's kind of quality over quantity, but in a different way, building a dedicated tribe, rather than just a fleeting crowd.
Interesting.
So,
Well, different kind of scale. Okay, so for many people listening, this might spark a thought. Could I actually do this? What if I wanted to become a digital publisher?
and the answer is absolutely you could.
Yeah. So our sources have some fantastic practical steps, it seems, distilling the journey into actionable stages. The very first critical decision. Step 1, understand your niche and your audience.
Crucial first step.
Right. Define your topic, self-help, finance, maybe hip-hop culture, whatever it is. Who are you writing for? What are their demographics, their pain points, their interests? Getting that clarity defines everything that follows.
And you also need to choose your format early on. Is it an ebook, an online course, a digital magazine, maybe a newsletter, an audiobook, a zine? Your content and audience will often guide that choice.
Good point. Okay, once you know that, step 2 is choosing your publishing route. Fundamentally, you have two main paths, traditional publishing or self-publishing.
The two big forks in the road.
With traditional publishing, you typically submit your manuscript to a publisher or maybe a literary agent. If they accept it, they handle the publishing, the marketing, and they pay you royalties. The pros seem clear. No upfront costs for you. You get professional editing and marketing teams, potentially broad distribution to physical bookstores. But what's the catch?
Well, the cons are significant too. It's highly competitive, very hard to get a deal. The process is incredibly slow. Sometimes it takes years. You have significantly less creative control over the final product, the cover, things like that. And your royalties are much smaller, typically in the 5–15% range.
Ouch. Okay. And how do you even attempt that route?
Well, you research publishers or agents who specialize in your genre. Write a really compelling query letter and a synopsis. You submit everything exactly according to their specific guidelines. They all have different ones. And if you're accepted, you sign a contract. It's really a game of patience and persistence.
Right. Okay, then there's the other path, self-publishing.
Where you're the boss.
Here, you handle pretty much everything yourself through various platforms. The pros are pretty significant. It's fast. You could potentially publish within days.
Yeah, much faster.
You have full creative control
Oh,
over everything. And you get much higher royalties, often up to 70%.
big difference there.
But the downside is you handle all the costs if you decide to outsource things like editing or cover design and the marketing. That's entirely your responsibility. Nobody's doing it for you.
That's the trade-off. And, the real chess move for a digital publisher often isn't just picking one platform. It's understanding how to leverage multiple platforms at the same time, what they call going wide.
Ah, okay. So not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Exactly. To maximize discoverability without sacrificing too much control. For instance, Amazon KDP is obviously the most popular. It offers up to 70% royalties, direct access to millions of Amazon shoppers. Huge market. But if you're aiming for broader distribution, maybe libraries or physical bookstores, platforms like Ingram Spark become essential.
Why Ingram Spark specifically?
Because many bookstores and libraries prefer ordering through Ingram's catalog, not directly from Amazon KDP print. So each platform offers different advantages. Some prioritize control, others prioritize reach. It's really about aligning the platform with your specific goals for your book or product.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So once you've picked your path, traditional or self-pub, maybe wide distribution, the real work begins.
Yeah.
Crafting and refining your actual content. Step 3, create and prepare your book.
Or course or newsletter. Yeah, the content itself.
Right. You absolutely need to finish and edit your manuscript or content thoroughly. Revise for grammar, structure, flow, get feedback. Beta readers are great for this.
Invaluable.
People who get an early version specifically to give you feedback, maybe leave a review later. And definitely consider hiring professionals if you can swing it. A developmental editor for the big picture story stuff.
Structure, plot,
A copy editor for grammar, spelling,
the
punctuation,
line-by-line details.
and a proofreader for that final polish. Catch any last typos. Seriously, don't skip editing.
Please don't. It's so tempting, but resist.
Then you need to prepare the essentials. Your final manuscript file, usually an EPUB for ebooks, a PDF for print. Get your cover design ready. You could use a tool like Canva for a DIY approach or hire a professional freelancer. And don't forget your ISBN, that identifier number. Amazon provides a free one, but it's only usable on Amazon.
Right, it ties you to their platform.
If you want full ownership and broader distribution options, you generally need to buy one from Bulk or the official agency. For tools, Google Docs or Notion are great for writing. Grammarly helps with refining. Canva or InDesign for design. Audacity or Adobe. Audition for audio. The key here really is to focus on quality above all else. Make it look and sound professional.
Absolutely, and this raises an important question. What often gets overlooked in the excitement of just getting it done, even when authors nail the writing?
What's that?
It's the critical importance of a strong book cover. Our sources consistently say it's often even more important than the title for digital sales.
Really? More than the title?
In that split-second scroll on Amazon, it's your visual hook. It has to grab attention instantly, and you need a compelling book description. Think of it like a movie trailer.
Okay. Hook 'em fast.
Exactly. Hook the reader fast. Make them want to know more. Click that buy button. Proper formatting is also just non-negotiable for professionalism. For print on demand, you'll need a PDF with bleed.
Bleed? What's that?
It's extra image or color area around the edges that gets trimmed off during printing. It ensures you don't get unsightly white lines if the cut isn't absolutely perfect. For ebooks, the standard is usually an EPU file, cleanly formatted. And for audiobooks, the key is professional sound quality. Crisp, clear audio, usually mono format is preferred. Pay attention to details like having proper intros and outros, consistent volume.
Technical specs matter.
They really do. You can usually find the specific requirements on the platform you choose, but the principle is don't compromise on sound or visual presentation. It screams amateur if you do.
Got it. So you've got your masterpiece, ready, edited, formatted, great cover, great description. Now comes the crucial decision, where to actually put it out there. Step 4, pick your distribution platforms.
Right. Where will people find it? For books, as we mentioned, Amazon KDP gives you easy access to Amazon shoppers, huge marketplace. But Draft2 Digital and Smashwords can get your ebook onto other major retailers like Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Kobo. That's the going wide strategy.
Okay. And for print?
Ingram Spark is generally preferred if you have ambitions for brick-and-mortar bookstores and libraries. Amazon KDP Print alone isn't usually enough to get you there. Barnes & Noble Press and Lulu are also options for print on demand.
And audiobooks. Seems like a growing market.
Huge growth, yeah. ACX, that's Audible, Amazon, iTunes is the mainstream choice run by Amazon. But its exclusivity option, while offering higher royalties sometimes, can limit your reach. For wider distribution, getting your audiobook into libraries, onto Spotify, Apple, loads more places, platforms like Findaway Voices or Authors Republic are excellent choices. Authors Republic distributes to over 50 platforms.
Wow, okay. Lots of options.
Yeah. And remember, the narrator matters immensely for audiobooks, whether you record yourself professionally or hire someone from places like ACX's Marketplace, Voices.com, or even Fiverr.
Right. Don't just read it into your phone, Mike.
Please don't. If you're doing courses, platforms like Teachable, Gumroad, or Podia are popular. For newsletters, there's Substack, ConvertKit, Beehive, MailChimp. Lots of choices there, too. And for digital magazines or Zines, check out Issue or MagCloud. And of course, you can always host and sell directly from your own website using something like WordPress or Ghost for maximum control.
So many platforms.
It can seem overwhelming, but the core strategic tip here is unless you have a specific reason to be exclusive to one platform, like Amazon's KDP Select program, generally go wide. Reach as many potential readers or customers as possible across different ecosystems.
Okay. Go wide. That seems like a key takeaway.
It often is. Then comes step 5, build your brand and promote. This isn't build it and they will come.
Ah, the marketing part.
Exactly. You need a strong name, maybe a logo, a consistent online presence, and you have to promote consistently. It's not a one-off task. This means having a dedicated website or offer page. Building an email list is crucial. Offer a free reader magnet. Like the first 3 chapters of your book, a bonus short story, a checklist. Something valuable to entice people to sign up. Leverage social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, X, wherever your audience hangs out. Consider guest spots on podcasts in your niche, collaborations with other creators, maybe even book signings or launch events if relevant.
And getting reviews is vital,
Yep,
right?
absolutely critical. Reach out to ARC readers, that's advanced review copywriters, people who get the book early to review it. Use services like NetGalley, Goodreads, or Book Sirens to find reviewers. Engage with bookstagrammers, influencers on Instagram focused on books. And please, I'll say it again, don't ever buy fake reviews. It backfires.
Right. Bad idea.
You might also consider creating a book trailer, a short video, and maybe running targeted ads on platforms like Amazon Ads, Facebook, or Instagram. What's truly fascinating here, connecting back, is how much publishing success now really hinges on that direct connection with your audience.
It keeps coming back to that connection.
Yeah. The real insight is recognizing that your most valuable asset long-term isn't just your book. It's your engaged audience list, your community. That's your foundation.
Okay. Build the brand, promote, connect. What's next?
Step 6. Monetize strategically. Think beyond just the initial sale. This could involve direct sales of PDFs or ebooks from your site, maybe subscriptions to a newsletter or premium content, sponsorships and ads if you have a platform, licensing your content for B2B uses, using affiliate links appropriately, or even creating community memberships with exclusive perks. Diversify how you earn.
Makes sense. Don't rely on just one income stream.
Exactly. And finally, step 7, optimize and scale. This is about continuous improvement. You need to collect feedback and analytics. Use the reports from KDP, Ingram Spark, ACX, tools like Book Report or Google Analytics for your website. Understand what's working, which marketing efforts drive sales, which platforms perform best, and, just as importantly, what's not working.
So you can adjust your strategy.
Precisely. Keep growing that email list and refining your audience funnel. As you grow, consider outsourcing tasks that you're not good at or don't have time for: editing, cover design, social media management. Explore paid advertising more deeply, or look for strategic partnerships to scale up your reach. And this raises that important question again. How do you know what's truly working and how to improve?
The data.
The answer lies in the data, yes, but also in genuinely listening to your community, your readers, your audience. This whole iterative process: publish, learn, analyze, improve, repeat. That's the key to long-term success.
Okay. Publish, learn, analyze, improve, repeat. Got it. All of this really points to some key traits of a great digital publisher, doesn't it? You need to be curious, always learning because things change so fast, consistent and committed. It's not overnight success. Laser focused on serving your audience. Creative, definitely, but also data-driven. And maybe most importantly, willing to test things out, sometimes fail, learn from it, and iterate. It's a continuous journey, not just a one-time event.
Couldn't agree more. That mindset is critical.
So let's try and distill all of this into the art of success. Some clear DOs and don'ts, and maybe your ultimate pro tips. Let's start with the DOs. Do you research your genre meticulously? Understand its conventions, reader expectations, where your work fits in.
Know your playground.
Do you hire professionals if you can possibly afford it? Editors, designers, narrators. Quality absolutely shines through and builds trust.
It's an investment, not an expense.
You invest in a strong book cover. Remember, we said it's often more important than the title for those crucial digital first impressions. Do you write a compelling book description? Your sales pitch, your movie trailer, make it irresistible.
Outcome.
DO format your book properly. PDF for print with bleed, clean EPB for ebooks, meet the specific audio specs for audiobooks. Those details matter for a professional look and feel. DO promote consistently. Build that relationship with your audience over time. DO actively collect reviews. They provide essential social proof for potential buyers. And of course, DO track your sales analytics. See what's working, what's not, and where to focus your efforts.
All solid advice.
Okay, now for the don'ts. What should people avoid? Don't skip editing. Seriously. Typos, grammatical errors, plot holes, they will absolutely tank your reputation faster than anything.
Instant credibility killer.
Don't expect instant success. Publishing, especially self-publishing, is usually a marathon, not a sprint. Be patient, be persistent. Don't buy fake reviews or followers. It's unethical, it's unsustainable, readers can often spot them, and platforms might ban you. Just don't.
Terrible idea.
Don't overprice your book. Research what similar books in your genre are selling for. Generally, ebooks are often in the $2.99 $4.99 range. Paperbacks maybe $9.99 $16.99. Audiobooks $7.20 depending on length. Find the sweet spot. Don't use just one platform unless you're making a strategic choice for exclusivity, like with KDP Select. Generally, go wide to maximize your potential reach.
Spread your bets.
Don't neglect your metadata. This is huge for discoverability. Your title, subtitle, keywords, categories, these are the hidden tags that help search engines and online bookstores understand what your book is about and show it to the right readers. Optimize them.
Super important, often overlooked.
And critically, don't sign away your rights without carefully reading and understanding any contracts, especially in traditional deals. Control is power in this digital age. Know what you're agreeing to.
Absolutely vital. Understand what rights you're granting, for how long, and in which territories.
And if we connect all this back to the bigger picture, perhaps the final pro tip, the overarching advice, is to truly treat your book like a business.
Okay, not just a passion project? Well, it is a passion project, but operate it like a business. Think strategically about your long-term author brand. You might want to consider registering an LLC or sole proprietorship. It's often optional, especially at first, but it can be smart for legal protection and tax purposes down the line. Build that brand around your author name. Use the tools available like Amazon Author Central and your Goodreads author profile to create a professional presence. Create that newsletter. Offer that free reader magnet, maybe the first 3 chapters to build your direct audience connection. That email list is gold. And remember, there are fantastic free resources out there to help you learn. Check out places like Readsy Learning, KDP University from Amazon, the Self-Publishing School blog, ALLY, the Alliance of Independent Authors. The knowledge is accessible.
Treat it like a business. Build the brand. Use the resources.
Got it. So what does this all mean then, wrapping up? We've really seen digital publishing transform, haven't we? From this very gate-kept industry to a vibrant, accessible ecosystem for creators. With these exciting, maybe slightly scary new frontiers like AI and blockchain on the horizon, it's truly a power shift from institutions to individuals.
It really is. And this raises, I think, a final important question for you, our listener, to ponder. In a world where pretty much anyone can publish anything, and the signal-to-noise ratio is just constantly shifting, what does it mean to create truly valuable content? And maybe just as importantly, how do you, as a reader and consumer, discern that value from all the noise out there? The power of the publisher, in many ways, is now truly in your hands, both as a potential creator and definitely as a consumer of information.